She is a very dear friend of mine. I am so thrilled to have her back. She has been on the Moth Radio Hour, and she has her own show called Barbershop Stories, which takes place in a barbershop. It's really, really freaking cool. Please give it up for Dawn Fraser.
All right, so it was a couple years ago, maybe like 4 years ago. I'm hanging out at Starbucks, not because I can afford their chai lattes, but because I'm looking for a sugar daddy who can. And I'm, in my spare time, I'm just like filling out job applications because I'm also broke. And I'm doing anything I possibly can, like catering jobs, tutoring jobs, any type of job. I have like nothing going on for me. I'm just broke, I'm single, and I'm at Starbucks every single day filling out job applications. But the one thing I do have going for me is I'm working as a volunteer in East New York with these high school students where I teach them how to work on their stories, stand, and deliver. And it's kind of fun because I have these crazy stories, so I'm kind of digging it. And so I think to myself, all right, like I'm taking any type of random job, let me just tell people I am a speech coach. That's my new jam. If you're my brother, my sister, like somebody down the street, anybody, like everybody, I am a speech coach. So I'm hanging out one day at this conference, trying to get inspired, lessons and experiences, all this kind of stuff. And I meet this guy who tells me that he is a speaker agent. And I was like, oh, really? Tell me more. And he tells me that he represents speakers, including a speaker that was on the stage that day. So I was like, that is awesome. I am a speech coach. So, if you ever need somebody who needs like some coaching, you just tell them you know an expert. And he's like, oh, do you have like some experience? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. I work for an organization called Adelante. Do you know Adelante? And he's like, oh, I love Adelante. And I was like, oh, he knows about it. And I was like, great. He's like, so you work with them? And I don't tell them that I'm a volunteer, right? I just kind of mentioned, I was like, yeah, I work for Adelante. Like no problem. I coach people. He's like, okay, then yeah, if you're a speech coach, and we might have some people. We'll get back to you. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Not expecting anything. I'm gonna keep on going on, telling everybody I'm a speech coach, looking for like a client. And so I'm back at Starbucks, and one day I get this random phone call, and it's unidentified, but I pick it up anyways, because I'm not really doing anything. So I pick it up, and it's this woman, she's like, hi, my name is Amanda, and I got your name from a guy who met you at a conference like 2 weeks ago. And I said, yeah, like, can I help you? She says, yeah, you're a speech coach, right? I'm like, yes, I am. As a matter of fact, yes, I am. Like, how can I be of service for you, And she says, well, I represent somebody who is doing a lot of speaking engagements. He's really gregarious, he's really great, but he's working on some new stuff, and he wants a coach. So, can you work with him? And I'm like, I would love to hear some more. And so I'm willing to do anything, to get this physicist who can't speak English, or whoever this person is, to be on my roster. And so I was like, well, tell me more. Tell me more about him. What's going on? How does he open up his presentations? And she's like, well, he kind of goes out on these college campuses, and he'll look out in the audience, and he'll see different things in the audience, like a crown or a cup, or a candle, and he'll just kind of bust into a freestyle flow. And that's how he starts off, the beginning of his speeches. And I'm thinking to myself, he's a speaker, right? Why is he trying to be cool? Why is he trying to be all fly? So I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is gonna be an easy person to coach, because obviously he needs lessons in authenticity, right? Or something, I don't even know what the hell is going on here. But I'm like, okay, so you probably don't want him to to start off in a rap battle if he's not really a rapper, And she says, oh no, actually, he is a rapper. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's cool. So, do I call him by his stage name, or do I call him by his name? What does he go by? And she's like, well, he has a lot of notoriety these days. He's coming up. He goes by the name of Common, and And he's been in like a bunch of like movies and things like that. And she's like, hello? And I'm like thinking to myself, ¿Cómo? Like, and I say, wait a minute, are you talking about Common? Like Common? And she's like, oh, you've heard of him. And I was like, yes, I've heard of Common. Like, she's like, oh yeah, that's who I'm calling on behalf of. Like, he's looking for a coach. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh my God. Not only have I not told these people that I'm only a volunteer for Adelante, but like, these kids are like high and drunk. Like, we give them a standing ovation for showing up. Like, I can't be Common's speech coach. I don't know what I'm doing though. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm like, oh hell no. So she's like, okay, well, we hear that you work with Adelante and then you work with people on presentations. He's coming out to Jersey next week from Los Angeles. So maybe you all can just link up and talk about the presentation stuff then. And I was like, okay, I guess, yeah, okay. She says, okay, great. I'll arrange for his SUV to come by and pick you up. And, the speech will be out in New Jersey, so you guys can, chat and get to know each other, and he'll do the presentation at the university. And I said, okay. So about a week and a half passed, and sure enough, the day comes where I'm standing outside of my brownstone Brooklyn, and a black SUV rolls up, and I jump inside, and there's Common. And he is gorgeous. Oh my Lord, people. If you don't know what this man looks like, bald, freckles, just like pure chocolate sexiness, just like dripping of just chocolate deliciousness. Yes. Yes. Whew. Whew. Sorry, went back there for a moment. And I don't know what to say to him because this is bizarre. It's me, his assistant, his driver, and Common. And we go out to Kane University, and when we get there, it is just mayhem. Like, all these people are trying to get his autograph and want to know what's going on, like trying to take pictures with him. And people are like looking over at me. They know who the assistant is because she has like a clipboard. But people keep looking at me like, and so finally this girl walks over and she says, excuse me, are you Common's mom? I am younger than Common by 5 years. And I was like, no, I'm not Common's mom. And she's like, she gets all crazy and she's like, maybe he's I don't know. And I think to myself, I don't know who I am to Common. I'm just here. Exactly, I'm just here. And she's like, well, can you take a picture for me? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I take a picture, and I just go on, my way while he makes his way to the stage. Everyone makes their way out to the audience, and he goes out. He's looking at the audience, at the candle, the bear, like all kinds of stuff, like the mascot. And he busts out this magical flow, and people are loving it. They're on their feet. He busts out music. He starts talking about Emmett Till. He starts talking about Trayvon Martin. He starts breaking down some social justice knowledge. Like, things are on fire. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to say to this man? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Did my mic go out?
Yeah, the mic went out a little bit ago.
Oh, it did? Is it back on? You guys back on? You guys can hear me okay still?
Yeah.
Should I just talk a little louder? Okay, no problem. Whatever. So anyways, where was I? What am I gonna say? Yeah, exactly. I'm at Kane University. What the hell am I gonna say to this man, right? So he gets off the stage and everybody's just like clamoring, but he wants to like just take off. And so he's like, do you want to just go get some food? Like, hang out. We'll talk about this coaching business. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we jump back in the SUV and we head out to Red Rooster, this kind of like fly restaurant out in Harlem. And we get there and it is just mayhem. Like, people are just like looking around, looking at pictures. Like, we get seated right away. It was amazing. That's never happened to me. I'm thinking this is much better than hanging out at the Starbucks, trying to find a sugar daddy, because they start bringing drinks, they start bringing all kinds of food. I like turned to the assistant, I was like, we didn't order any of this. She's like, oh, it doesn't matter. And it didn't. Because we just ate and we had more drinks and it was amazing. We were just telling stories. He turns to me finally in the conversation. He's like, I've been talking all night about you, like me, you've heard my speech. Like, what about you? Like, what kind of music did you listen to? And I was like, I listened to you, fool. Like, I listened to you. Like, what are you, like, what? Like, and that's when I decided, okay, no. I'm not gonna be Common's speech coach. I will be Common's girlfriend. This is my new plan. Okay, yes, because I know all about hip hop. I know all about Common. I grew up on this man. Like, yes, like this can be done, ladies and gentlemen. It can be done. So we're like hanging out, but it's getting late, and he kind of senses that like it's time to jam. So all right, so like let's. I'm thinking about everything to talk about except for the speech coaching. Because I don't know what I'm gonna tell him. His speech is amazing. His stuff is fly. Like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So we're driving back on the SUV back over to Brooklyn. We first drop off his assistant at Trump Hotel, and we're heading back into Brooklyn over the Brooklyn Bridge. And for whatever reason, I'm just like, man, I'm just like hot, and I don't know what to tell this man. I don't know what to tell him if I want to be with him. I was like, I don't know what to tell him about his speech. I don't know what to think. I'm just like, my mind is just hot, and so I roll down the window just to get some fresh air, and it hits me that I am really jacked up. I'm really fucked up. And all of a sudden, I stick my head out the door, and the throw up just starts coming out of my mouth. And it just starts streaking and streaking and streaking down the side of the SUV. And I don't know if it's the nerves. I don't know if it's because I don't know what to say. I don't know if it's the apprehension. But he finally looks back at me, and I want to say, I'm so sorry. But I can't, because it's still going and it's still throwing up. And it is just a nightmare. And I am mortified. I don't know what I am going to do. I know. I know, y'all. Woo! I feel you. So obviously I'm not gonna see this man ever again. So we pull into my brownstone back in Brooklyn, and I was like, do you mind if we just jump out and take a quick selfie? And so he agrees, and so we go on the non-vomit side of the SUV. And then you would have done it too. We take a picture, and I head inside, and I do not know what to do with my life. I mean, this man's not gonna be my speech client. He's not gonna be my boyfriend. He's not gonna be nothing. I'm gonna be like nothing out of this amazing potential. Oh, and I am just mad. Great story. Oh, I have a great story out of it. But the next day, I went to my phone, and I was like, you know what? Let me just text him. So I send this text message, and I was like, hey, Rashid, Common. I was like, it was really awesome breaking bread with you yesterday. The speech absolutely killed, seriously killed. I don't know what to say. Literally, I don't know what to say. But, if you're still looking for a speech coach, I would love to help you out. And I figured, you know what? I have nothing to lose, so I pressed send. And surprisingly, about like 10 minutes later, he replies back. And it says, Dawn, it was awesome hanging with you and also breaking bread. And you know what? Oh, wait, I forgot to mention. In the text, I also said, I'm so sorry about the parentheses mess on the car, but you know, if you still want to work together, well, we can work together. And he replied back, John, you know, it was so great breaking bread with you, and you know, thank you so much for coming out to check out the speech. Don't even worry about the mess, and yeah, let's work together. The people are listening. And that is how I ended up with my first speech client.